So if you're over 30 and you're still struggling to lose your belly fat, even though you eat clean, you go to the gym, you track your protein, okay? I'm here to tell you the truth. You have been misled. And in this video, I will explain to you what's been holding you back so that you can actually start seeing results. And I'm going to give to you my step-by-step system and guide. The only thing that I ask is, number one, like the goddamn video, because I'm going to put you guys on a lot of game. Number two, if you're just looking to lose a couple pounds and look average, okay, don't watch this video. This is for the guys who want to elevate, set the fucking standard, and actually want to look good. They want to get ripped, okay? So let's dive in. Now, if you're watching this video, let's cut the crap. You know something's been off, okay? The clothes, they're not fitting the same way that they used to. You put on the clothes, you look at yourself in the mirror, you start to realize that you look like shit. You don't even want to go out anymore. The clothes don't fit right. You don't feel confident. Your attractiveness score is literally dropping, okay? Some of you guys watching this video, you guys are like thinning, you know what I'm saying? Your hair is falling off. Some of you guys are bald and fat. Okay, I want you guys to think about that. Okay, as you age, you don't got that youth attraction anymore. You know what I'm saying? So if you're fat and bald, that is unacceptable. You know what I'm saying? That might be funny, you guys, but I'm being real. You know what I'm saying? If you're fat and bald, that is unacceptable. You got to maximize yourself, right? So your attractiveness score is dropping, and then you start feeling like these women don't pay attention to you. You know what I'm saying? You're just getting the fat single mommies out there. And the truth is, that is a reflection of you. That is a reflection of the way that you look, the way that you've been taking care of yourself. You know what I'm saying? Some of you guys, the wife doesn't even want to have sex with you no more. Okay, this might be funny to some people, but it isn't funny if you're going through this shit. Okay, so bottom line, the wife doesn't want to have sex with you no more because look at yourself, bro. Do you look attractive? Do you look attractive? You don't even want to see yourself in the mirror. You know what I'm saying? Some of you guys, your kids have become a reflection of your habits. Are you giving them a reason to be inspired to eat healthy and take care of their bodies and be in shape? Or are you simply misleading your kids down the road to health problems, bro? Because a lot of you guys have overweight kids, man. And if you're not doing the best thing that you can, the best job that you can as a father to set the tone, set the example, to inspire them to actually live a fit and healthy lifestyle, then you are simply aiding them and you're raising them in a way of life that is going to lead them to destruction, health issues. All right, so some of your kids are overweight. You guys need to take a look at yourselves, okay? And lastly, you're not proud of the way that you look, right? You lack confidence with yourself. This is the state of a lot of guys that are over 30, you know what I'm saying? And the truth is, I was in the same boat, you know what I'm saying? My personal story was the fact that I was in a relationship. I got comfortable, you know what I'm saying? And next thing you know, I let myself go. I gained 25 pounds. I lost my fitness habits. You know, next thing you know, the woman is disrespecting me. She's out here talking to other dudes. So I had to level up and I had to regain my confidence back because my self-esteem was fucked up. You know what I'm saying? And there's the after, shredded lean, got rid of the belly fat. And guys, I'm not even the proof that this works, okay? My clients are the proof that this fucking works. My clients look better than you. Okay, so some of you guys are going to write in the comments below this video, oh, you're wrong. You don't know what you're talking about, bro. If you don't look better than my clients, just shut up. Because I guarantee none of you guys look better than my clients. Gio is literally 41 years old, and this is before and after. Okay, 41 years old. You know, some of you guys think, oh, I'm 30. I can't look great. Jaman is 35. His before and after. I know none of you guys look better than my clients, right? This is another one, right? Bilal is 39 years old, got in tip-top shape, 10% body fat, shredded as fuck at 39 years old. And Sandro here, who's 46, and he did this literally in 4 months. He went from looking like a guy with tits who don't lift to a guy who's fucking ripped, like an MMA fighter, okay? So bottom line, what I'm going to share with you guys actually works, okay? And I need you guys to pay attention. Now, here's the truth that no one wants to admit, okay? Men over 30 have a harder time losing belly fat than younger guys, okay? So the same shit that you were doing in your 20s, you know, like just the same workouts, the same effort, that shit is not going to cut it no more, okay? Because here's what you're up against, right? When you guys age, when we get older, the rate at which you burn fat decreases with age, okay? So your fat oxidation, the rate at which you burn fat decreases the older you get. Okay, your thyroid output decreases with age. These are the hormones that are responsible for burning fat in the human body. Your T3, your T4, your conversion from T4 to T3, they get lower with age. Okay, your testosterone starts to decline by like 30% after the age of 35. Okay, and also older muscles become more efficient at burning less calories. Okay, so bottom line, this is why you feel like your belly is growing faster than your muscles, right? You're not going to get away with this shit no more. You know what I'm saying? All of a sudden you realize, holy fuck, what happened to my physique? Well, this is what happened. Okay. You got to wake up. You know what I'm saying? And then combine that with the fact that you've been having poor food choices, you've been drinking alcohol, lack of sleep, sedentary lifestyle, you work behind the desk, you're not even active, and you're left with that stubborn belly fat that has you YouTubing how to fix this shit. Okay. So, guys, let's get into it, man. The reason why a lot of guys stay stuck there is because you're being lied to and you're doing the wrong shit. Okay. Now, whether that's because the fitness influencers are trying to get you to buy their programs and make it sound easy and simple, like it's a little quick fix and you don't have to work hard. Nah, that's bullshit. Okay. They're trying to sell you something. I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm going to tell you exactly what it takes to get rid of that belly fat based off legitimate results. Okay. Now, here's a typical BS advice on the internet that some of you guys follow, that some of you guys preach, but none of you guys look like my clients. All right. So take some humble pie, right? Clean up your food choices and just exercise more. You know what I'm saying? It's generic. That's not going to get you anywhere. That is generic advice that will literally not get you anywhere. You might lose a couple pounds. You might look a little better, but you're not going to get ripped and you're not going to get rid of the belly fat. Okay. Fasting. We're going to get into these one by one. Okay. Fasting. A lot of people love fasting, right? Water fasting, intermittent fasting, all this type of shit, right? Oh, you only got to lift 3 times a week. Shout out to Kino Body, Gregor Gallagher, who has people thinking that all you need to do is lift 3 times a week to build a physique. We're going to get into it, okay? People who like to say, dude, it's just calories in and calories out. They obsess over the calorie deficit, okay? Or, dude, just eat 1 gram per pound of body weight of protein, right? Or you just stop eating carbs and just eat meat. All these people saying this shit. Number one, none of them look like my clients. Number two, it's BS advice that I'm going to go into and expose that this is what's been holding you back. Now, none of this shit is going to turn your belly fat into a 6-pack. Okay, I guarantee it won't. Okay, so I'm going to propose a challenge to every single person watching this, right? If you think that all of those things work, then why don't you have a 6-pack? Okay, why don't you have a 6-pack? Insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. So whatever you've done up to this point in your life, up to this point that you're watching this video, has not worked. Because I need you to look down, look at your stomach, grab your 2 fingers and pinch how much fat you're pinching, okay? If you're pinching fat, you need to change what you've been doing because obviously it doesn't work. All right, guys, so let's dive in. The reason that you have belly fat is because of your current body composition, okay? In order to change and get rid of your belly fat, you have to focus on changing your body composition and stop focusing on weight loss, okay? Because weight loss and fat loss are not the same thing. Everybody's focused on weight loss this, weight loss that. Guys, you need to focus on changing your body composition if you want to get rid of the belly fat, okay? You can lose a significant amount of weight and you will end up looking skinny fat. Imagine putting on all that work. Imagine doing all these fasts and losing a shit ton of weight and you don't even like the way that you look. 6 months down the drain, 12 months down the drain, all that fucking sacrifice for what? You won't even look ripped. You will end up looking skinny fat. You will look emaciated. Okay, do you know what emaciated looks like? It looks like a shriveled fucking noodle. Have you guys ever seen like a shriveled up noodle once you boil that shit and it crumples up? Yeah, that's what some of you guys end up looking like, okay? Or you can end up looking like a chewed up gum. You know what I'm saying? Like a chewed up gum that you just spit out, all shriveled up and shit, okay? And you'll still have belly fat if you go about this the wrong way. And a lot of people fucking do. So if you don't focus on changing your body composition and you just do weight loss and I just want to lose pounds and I just want to work out 2 to 3 times a week, this is what's going to end up happening. Okay. So that is because you didn't focus on actually changing your body composition like we're going to talk about in this video. All right. So how do we actually change our body composition? Okay. Your body composition is how much fat you have relative to how much muscle you have. Okay. So it's your body fat percentage compared to your lean mass. All right. Now, any approach that doesn't maximize those 2 things, the building of lean muscle mass and the lowering of the body fat percentage simultaneously, is not going to get you the results that you want. Okay. And I'm in here before these guys start saying, oh, you can't build muscle while you lose fat. Guys, that's fucking bullshit. Okay. You can 100% do that. And you are supposed to maximize both things at the same time. All right. Now, here's the problem. Most people, their weight is going to start going down, right? Let's say, oh, I want to get rid of this belly fat. I want to lose this belly fat. They're going to do a regular weight loss. They're going to starve themselves or whatever, right? Their weight is going to go down, but their body fat percentage slightly goes down. okay? And then their lean mass is actually going down as well. And that's just weight loss, okay? What I'm talking about is when your weight is going down, right? But your body fat percentage is going down along with your weight as well. So your weight is coming down and your body fat percentage is also coming down, but your lean muscle mass is actually going up. And that's further going to drive your body fat down. Okay, so this is the distinction between what a lot of people fucking do and what you're supposed to do to get rid of that belly fat and turn it into a six pack. Okay, now let me explain real quickly why all of those generic, you know what I'm saying, lines and advice is bullshit. Okay, number one, fasting. Okay, the problem with fasting is that it's great for weight loss, but it decreases your muscle mass. Okay, because if you go without eating amino acids in your bloodstream for a certain period of time, for a couple hours, your body is actually going to eat up that muscle. So you're not going to maximize muscle. And guys, this isn't bro science. This is fact. Okay. So if you're doing these fasts, thinking that that's going to help you get rid of your belly fat, you're going to lose a shit ton of weight. You're going to lose weight, but you're also going to lose muscle. And notice how I said, in order to change the body composition, we need to not only lose body fat, but increase muscle mass. And fasting does not increase muscle mass. Okay. Second point. Lifting 3 times a week. Shout out to Greg O'Gallagher. Shout out to Mr. Kino Body and everybody else who will try to make it sound super easy. Like this minimal effort ass shit is going to get you amazing results. Okay. Lifting 3 times a week is not going to increase muscle mass because you're not giving the muscle enough stimulus and volume in order to grow. Okay, and I'm going to fight on that hill till the day I die. My clients are proof of that shit, okay? You guys saw how they changed their physique in a matter of a few months, and they're all 40s and 30s, okay? So if you think lifting 3 times a week has been the answer, you've probably been lifting 3 times a week up until now, and how's that working out for you, bro? You know what I'm saying? Do you want to keep doing that, okay? Next point, people that obsess over a calorie deficit. Some people write in the comments, oh, it's just calorie deficit. Okay, yeah. You know what the problem is? Calorie deficit is number one, inaccurate because it doesn't account for the fiber and the net carb intake, which I'll even go into a separate video about. But secondly, you're not going to manipulate your body composition like macros, okay? Being in a calorie deficit will get you weight loss, but it won't necessarily get you fat loss because the way that you guarantee fat loss is by actually hitting your macros within the proper ratios like I'm going to talk about. That's how you manipulate your body composition. You don't do that through calorie deficit. Calorie deficit is just going to give you a weight loss. Okay, and like I said, if you're just losing weight, you're going to look like a shriveled fucking noodle. You know what I'm saying? So, next point. People that say, oh, just eat 1 gram per pound of body weight. Guys, that doesn't do anything for fat loss, okay? That guarantees your muscle. It maximizes muscle, but it doesn't do anything for the fat loss side of things. Fats must be restricted. Carbohydrates must be at a certain point in order for your body composition to actually change and lose fat, okay? And lastly, people like to say, just stop eating carbs. Guys, you know what I'm saying? It's just not necessary. It's just not necessary, okay? And carbs also have a function in the body like we're going to go into. Now, all right, so let's talk about what actually will work for men who are 30 and over, okay? And if you are 30 and over and you're looking to get rid of your belly fat because you're tired of looking like shit and you actually want to achieve this fast, with proven guaranteed results, apply below for my coaching program. That's where all these guys get amazing fucking results. And I guarantee that if you join, you're going to get guaranteed results 100%. All right. Now, let's go on to the video. So here's this 3-step framework that all of these guys followed. That all the guys that you just saw that look better than you, right? All these guys that are ripped and you're not. This is what they followed. Okay. This is a 3-step framework. Number 1, macro precision fat loss, okay? So not just protein and not just counting calories. Having the right ratios between the 3 macros to manipulate the body composition. Everybody in the comment section who's going to say, oh, it's just calories in, calories out, they've never been ripped before. They've never been 10% body fat before. And like you saw, those guys are in their 40s in better shape than you, bro. 10% body fat, okay? Point number 2. High stimulus muscle training, right? Training 4 to 5 days per week, not fucking 1 to 3 days per week. This maximizes lean muscle mass and this increases the metabolic rate, which further helps us also get rid of the belly fat and lower the body fat percentage. And point number 3, daily low stress fat burn, okay? An activity that you do 5 to 6 days per week, simple daily movement that allows us to burn more fat without ruining our recovery, all right? So I'm gonna go into each point if you want to take notes. You know what I'm saying? Or just refer back to the video. Part 1, macro precision fat loss, okay? So the first step is we're going to find our macros using the 40, 35, 25 rule. And I'm going to break this down, but this is just a general overview, okay? Step 2, we're going to build a meal plan based on those macros, or you're going to use those macros to track your macros every single day, okay? And then the third step is understanding how to adjust these macros when the fat loss actually stalls, all right? So your muscle mass and your body fat percentage can only be manipulated by having the proper balance between the macros, okay? Because your fats, they control your hormones, your testosterone, your thyroid hormones, etc. But your fats, your dietary fat intake also controls how much fat burning you will do. If you overeat fats, you're not going to burn enough fat because the body is going to use the dietary fat as the fuel instead of the body fat as the fuel. So there's a sweet spot, okay? Protein obviously rebuilds muscle, and we need that. And then the carbs, they give you energy, but they also control the insulin levels. So if you overeat the carbs, your insulin levels are going to suck and you're not going to burn as much fat as you could otherwise, okay? So bottom line, guys, count your fucking macros, not calories, okay? So if you only track your calories or you only track your protein, you will not have the proper balance between the macros because you aren't even tracking your macros, okay? And yes, you're going to lose weight, but you're not going to get a six-pack, guaranteed. Guaranteed, all right? So let's get into it. How do we find the proper macronutrient balance? Okay. Number one, you're going to take your body weight and you're going to multiply that by 10 or 11. Okay. If you weigh a lot of weight, like if you're super fucking fat watching this video, you know what I'm saying? Multiply your body weight by 10. All right. But if you're just overweight, you know what I'm saying? You need to lose 30, 40 pounds, whatever, 50 pounds, multiply your body weight by 11. Okay. Then you're going to take that number, you're going to multiply it by 25% divided by 9. That's going to give you your fats. Okay. You take the same number, you multiply by 35%, divided by 4, that's going to give you your carbs. Then you take that number, multiply it by 40%, and divide it by 4. That will give you how many grams of protein you need to eat on a daily basis, okay? Now, let me give you guys an example so you guys understand this stuff, right? Let's take a 200-pound male, okay, and let's find his macros. So we're going to multiply his body weight by 11. That gives us 2,200 calories. If you do the calculations, you're going to realize that he should be eating 220 grams of protein, 192 carbs, and 60 grams of fat as your daily macro target, okay? Now, again, before anybody in the comment section starts to get mad, that's too much protein, that's too much this, guys. This is a general formula that you can implement and start getting guaranteed results from the jump. And you will continue to get guaranteed results all the way till you hit a sticking point. All right. Now, can it be a little more personalized? Yes, because there's little factors that are involved. But if you literally follow this, it's still going to work. It is still going to work 100%. Okay. So now let's build ourselves a meal plan based on those macros so that we can actually start getting results. Okay. So in order to build a meal plan, you guys are going to have to download one of these 3 apps. Okay. So the 3 apps is going to be either Macro Factor, Lose It, or MyFitnessPal. All right. I have personally used Lose It and MyFitnessPal. I've never used Macro Factor, but I do have some guys who do use that. So I think they're all great. All right. I'm not sponsored by anybody. They all have their fucking flaws. So I'm not going to just eat a dollar bill just to say everything is perfect. You know what I'm saying? They all have their flaws, but generally speaking, I like Lose It or MyFitnessPal. Okay. Now, to keep things simple, whenever you look up foods in these apps, we want to look them up cooked. Okay, and I'm going to stress this only one time in this video just to keep things very simple, okay? So when you're looking up foods in these app calculators, right, in these macro calculating apps, you're going to look up white rice cooked. You're going to look up ground beef cooked. You're going to look up whatever you're eating, look it up cooked, okay? And you're also going to weigh all your foods cooked. This is going to make it very simple. It's going to stop the confusion because I don't have time to get into the raw and the cooked stuff, okay? Just bottom line, look up the foods cooked, right? And weigh your foods cooked, okay? Excuse me. The only foods that are not weighed cooked is the egg whites and the oatmeal, okay? So the egg whites, if you want to cook them, you know what I'm saying? Just weigh it liquid, and then the oatmeal, just measure it raw, okay? Everything else is going to be cooked, and look it up cooked in the app, okay? Now, let's talk about how to actually build a meal plan from these macros. People are under the misconception that you're only supposed to eat 1 time a day, 2 times a day, or eat 5 to 6 times a day like a bodybuilder, walking around with a bunch of Tupperware, something that's hella unsustainable and unnecessary, okay? All my guys literally only eat 3 to 4 meals a day, Okay, that's it. That's all you need. That's good enough. You know what I'm saying? That's plenty, and that's perfect. Okay, because it's sustainable as well. Now, there's a few guidelines that you're also going to want to follow. Number one is eat whole foods and eat home cooked foods. Okay, don't be eating out, because a lot of places eating out, they have oils. You know what I'm saying? They have a lot of added calories that you don't know what the fuck you're eating. Okay, so only eat home cooked recipes, or if you want to order your food from a meal prep service. Okay, one of the meal prep services that I have used is called it's called Mega Fit Meals, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. I think they're called Mega Fit Meals, and they do a great job. Okay, so only eat food at the house or food from a meal prep service company, right? Lastly, do not cook with added butter or oils. Use the non-stick sprays, and this is where a lot of guys go wrong. Shout out to the Jamaicans, the Dominicans, the Puerto Ricans that like to chef it up in the kitchen with all these butters and oils. Next thing you know, you added like 200 calories to your meal. You do that over a week, that's an added 1,500 calories. You're not going to drop fat like that, okay? So make sure that you use non-stick sprays and use as little, okay? Use as little of that as you possibly can, okay? Now, this is a layout of some of the food sources that I personally recommend and I personally like to use, okay? There are single ingredient foods primarily and whole foods. You got your protein sources right there, right? You got your carb sources in the bottom. You got your fruit sources. People are under the misconception that they shouldn't be eating fruit, okay? Every meal plan that I personally follow and that I make, it has fruit, okay? That is healthy for you. Stop listening to the BS online, okay? And then in the bottom right, you have your fat sources, all right? If you want, you guys can screenshot this and then use that to then draw up your own little meal plan if you want after the video, okay? Now, here is a sample meal plan. Guys, keep things simple. You know what I'm saying? All this complicated shit and all this other type of shit, it's not needed, all right? If you guys just literally keep your meal plan simple and make it around the foods that you like, you guys are going to get a lot of progress, okay? As long as you're fitting it into the macros that we talked about. So here's an example. You got your breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and you got a post-workout shake, okay? Pretty self-explanatory, pretty basic, pretty simple, all right? Now, you can structure your meal plan to the liking of your specific foods as long as you follow all the guidelines I just gave you, okay? Now, condiments. I suggest that you do use condiments. This is going to keep the meals palatable, and this is going to keep things fun, okay? Because if you're eating a chicken breast, you can have barbecue chicken with the barbecue sauce, or another day you can have some buffalo chicken, okay? So you can kind of mix things up based on the condiments that you use, and this is going to keep things sustainable, and it's going to keep it palatable, okay? So bottom line, make sure the condiments that you use are either these specific condiments or 0-calorie condiments, okay? Because this is also a point where a lot of guys do go wrong, okay? They'll be adding a bunch of condiments to their foods, and they're going to add a bunch of calories to the foods, okay? So bottom line, these are my favorite condiments, and I highly recommend the barbecue sauce. Anyone that has ever tried it, it literally tastes like regular barbecue sauce, except that it is no sugar added, guys, okay? Now, you're going to want to measure your progress on a weekly basis using the scale and photos of your physique. If some of you guys want to take a tape measure and start measuring your waist every week, that would be even better, okay? So bottom line, you're going to weigh yourself every week. You should be losing somewhere around 1 to 3 pounds per week, okay? I'm assuming most guys watching this video are not massively obese and fat as fuck. If you are massively obese, bro, just take this and run with it, because you'll get amazing results, okay? If you are obese and are fat, you can actually lose 3 to 5 pounds a week, okay? But for the general population, they're probably going to want to stick between 1 to 3 pounds off every single week, okay? Now, when your fat loss begins to stall, there's going to be 3 main things that you'll want to do in order to resume your progress, okay? So number 1, you're actually going to want to lower carbs, okay? Number 2 is you're going to want to lower fats, okay? And then number 3, which I missed on this slide, is actually to increase your cardiovascular activity, which is what we're going to talk about towards the end of the video, all right? Now, when do we lower carbs and when do we lower fats, okay? So point number 1, when the fat loss stalls 1 week, you're going to lower your carbs by 40 grams, okay? And I'm giving you guys the secrets. I'm giving you guys the sauce, so I'm hoping that you're taking notes, okay? This is going to resume your progress. And then if you stall again, you're going to lower your carbs again by 40 grams. Now, you're going to rinse and repeat this process until your carbohydrates get to around 80 grams, okay? 80, 90, okay? You don't want to go too low with your carbohydrates because then it's going to be bad for your metabolism. It's going to be bad for your muscle building in the gym, okay? Once your carbs get low like that, the next thing you're going to want to do is just start to lower your fats if you need to, okay? And you're going to want to do that by 10 grams, okay? So you can lower your fats until they get to 40 grams, but do not go below 40 grams, okay? Because you can start suffering from low testosterone, low libido symptoms, you know what I'm saying? And bottom line is you're going to be feeling weird down there a little bit, okay? So you're not going to want to go below 40 grams of fats, all right? Now, if you stay precise with this meal plan, with these macros, you're going to get to 15% body fat, literally, okay? As long as you follow the other 2 steps and part of the system that I'm going to talk about, okay? So that's pretty much the macro precision part down. That's part 1. You cannot skip that. That is the most important part of this whole process, okay? Now, let's talk about the second step of the system, which is the high stimulus muscle training. And it might be controversial to a lot of people watching, but guys, my clients are the proof that this shit works, and it works very fucking good because they're ripped as hell, okay? And you're not. So part 2, high stimulus muscle training, okay? The more muscle that you build, the leaner that you will be able to get, the more body fat percentage you will be able to burn, the higher your metabolic rate will be, and the better that you're going to look, okay? And all of this is because you're redistributing the amount of fat to muscle ratio on the body, okay? Like we talked about, you know what I'm saying? The nutrition is going to get our fat loss to start happening. It's also going to maximize our muscle recovery, and then this part of the system is what's actually going to help us build more muscle, okay? So if you're only working out 1 to 3 times per week, public service announcement, you will not build enough lean mass, okay? Anybody that's trying to tell you that you can lift 1 to 2 to 3 times per week and maximize your muscle mass, they're lying to you, bro. They're lying to you, okay? You will not increase your metabolic rate either, which means that you're not going to change your body composition to actually be able to get rid of the belly fat and get the 6-pack, okay? You guys need to follow the system that I'm going to lay out here, okay? And these are the main tenets of high stimulus muscle training. Number 1, every muscle in your body needs to get hit 10 to 20 sets every single week, okay? Every single week, every muscle needs to be worked at least 10 sets, okay? And that's on the lower end of the spectrum, okay? So what does that mean? If you're doing biceps, your biceps need to get hit 10 sets every week. If you're doing chest, your chest needs to get hit 10 sets every week. Every muscle needs a minimum of 10 sets every week, okay? And that's the bare minimum. Okay, I personally train at the 20 set mark, and I know a lot of bodybuilders that do 20 to 30 sets, but we're not bodybuilders. All right, we're just dudes trying to look ripped. So you should be training within 10 to 20 sets every week. Anybody on the internet that's telling you, oh, you just need to do like three to 6 sets or 8 sets a week, they're fucking lying to you, bro. Okay, this is proven science. There's a minimum threshold that's gonna actually build maximum amount of muscle, and they have proven that to be 10 to 25 sets. And the more volume, the more sets that you do, the more your muscle's going to grow. I don't know like where we got this concept that like doing less is more. Guys, if you work more hours, you're going to make more money, okay? If you do more sets, you're generally going to build more muscle, and that's just a fact, okay? So the workouts should take around 1 hour, and you're going to want to work out 4 to 5 days a week. The reason for this is going to allow us to hit our muscles 10 to 20 sets a week, but it's also going to give us 2 minimum rest days, which is going to be very well needed since we are above 30. All right, we're not fucking 20 anymore. All right, so another component is every set needs to be taken to failure. Okay, now failure means taking the sets to the point where you can't do another rep. I'm not saying to break your form. I'm not saying to break your arm either. You know what I'm saying? What I am saying is every set should be to the best of your ability. Okay. These guys that are in the science-based lifting community, they're retards. You know what I'm saying? And I'll fucking have a debate with any one of them, man. Because bottom line, every set does need to be taken to failure, okay? Now, the rep ranges that you want to be working under is going to be the 6 to 15 rep range, okay? Anything lower than 6 is actually going to be kind of dumb. Shout out to Kino Body, right? Shout out to Grego Gallagher, right? But anything lower than 6 is dumb. Okay, we want to avoid injury, guys. And if you're doing any reps that are lower than 6, you're at a higher risk of injury because you're lifting heavy. Okay. And we also want to maximize our muscle growth and stimulus. So the rep ranges of 6 to 15 is going to be the best for that. Okay. And lastly, we're going to want to focus on the tempo that we lift. Okay. We want to be lifting with a 3-second negative and a 1-second positive and a 1-second hold. Okay. Don't be lifting like you're a fucking monkey in the jungle, just fucking lifting up weights around and doing some crazy shit, thinking that you're actually doing anything. Okay. This is going to avoid injury and it's going to maximize our muscle stimulus. Okay. Because it's going to maximize the time of our sets, the time under tension. If you're doing a set and that set takes you 30 seconds to complete versus if you're doing a set and it takes you 10 seconds to complete, the set that took you 30 seconds is going to build more muscle because the muscle is under a longer duration of tension. Okay? That is why you want to control the negative and the positive and not lift like a fucking monkey who's in the jungle. Okay? So, how do you actually do this, right? Like, how do you guys find a routine? I'm not going to give you my fucking routine because that's the damn Hunter routine. You know what I'm saying? You need to get in a program for that. But bottom line, that don't even matter because you can literally find a routine on bodybuilding.com that fits the description. Okay? All of these inputs that I just gave you, copy and paste that into ChatGPT and make yourself your own weightlifting program. Now, is it going to be maximally effective? No, because he hasn't proven it. Okay? I have proven it, but it's still going to be effective and it's still going to get you results. Okay. Now, the second thing that you could do is actually go to bodybuilding.com, right? And find a routine that fits this description. Okay. So you can find a four-day-a-week lifting routine, a 5-day-a-week lifting routine, and just follow that. Okay. Because they're pretty effective. All right. Now, let's go over some common mistakes that I see a lot of people making that is actually holding you back and hindering your progress. Okay, number one is the pyramid style training. Okay, now what am I talking about? When you go in a gym and you're lifting weights, let's say every set that you do, you're going up in weight. You're fucking up. Okay, you are fucking up. Okay, your sets should not be increasing in weight. You need to start off your sets with the heaviest weight. Okay, because think about it. If you're curling 10 pounds for set 1, 20 pounds for set 2, 30 pounds for set 3, and then 40 pounds for set 4. The only set that you actually worked was the 40 pounds because that was your best weight. So all of those sets before then, those were warm-up sets. You weren't working. You were not exposing the muscle to maximum stimulus. So you need to start your sets with the 40 pounds. So you're actually using the most amount of energy possible, lifting the most amount of weight that you possibly can. And that is how you build maximum muscle, okay? Another common mistake is not being hydrated, okay? A lot of people think that this is not important, okay? But I'm here to tell you, if you don't stay hydrated, okay, if you don't drink your water, you're not going to be able to build maximum muscle. And I guarantee it, bro, okay? Your muscle is 75% water. Think about that. That means if you're not hydrated and drinking a gallon of water a day, your muscles are going to be flat, depleted, and you're going to feel weak. And if you feel weak, you're not going to be able to lift your best weights. And if you're not able to lift your best weights, you're not able to expose the muscle to a hard and heavy stimulus, which means you're not going to maximize your muscle. So please, don't think water is just an afterthought. It is very, very important, okay? Some of the most important things in life are very fundamental and simple, okay? Lastly, not training to failure, okay? This is a big mistake that I see people doing. I see this all the time. When I'm in Planet Fitness, when I'm in 10 Star, when I'm in LA Fitness, I go in the gym and I look around. I don't see a single person training hard. Everybody in there is just blowing smoke up their own ass. Nobody's actually training hard. They're not training to failure. And if you don't train to failure, you're not going to build new muscle, bro. Okay? If you aren't pushing the limits, you're not going to give your body a reason to build new muscle, because it's already adapted to the workouts that you're doing, okay? So bottom line, you should feel sore after every single workout. If you don't feel sore, you're doing something wrong, okay? Bottom line, all right? Now, on to the last point. The third component of this system is the daily low stress fat burn, okay? And I'm going to break it down so you guys understand what I'm saying. We do not want to pile on extra fatigue or stress from high impact activities like running. You know what I'm saying? A lot of guys, they like to run and shit. Bro, when you're over 30, you go out running, your knees are gonna freaking yell, bro. They're gonna squeak, they're gonna pop, they're gonna crackle, okay? Any high intensity cardio, you do not want to do that because that's gonna add fatigue and add stress to the body, okay? If you're over 30, your priority should be recovering from your strength training so that you can maximize the muscle growth and not drain your energy on activities that do not help you build muscle. Okay. This is why you shouldn't do cardio before your weight session. All your energy should be used on the weight lifting. Okay. This is just an added thing to increase the fat burning effects. Okay. Now, instead, what we do want to do is we want to accelerate the fat burning with low stress activity. You know what I'm saying? Some of you guys like to pipe down the old lady. You know what I'm saying? Double that up. Hit the double sessions. Hit the morning and the night. You know what I'm saying? But bottom line, something that boosts your metabolism without adding extra stress to the body. Okay? And no, sex does not count as low stress cardio activity because you guys can't even go 30 minutes straight without not moving. You know what I'm saying? Cardio means consistent movement for an extended period of time. And when you're fucking an old lady, you be taking your breathers and shit and you be like taking like breaks. That don't count, bro. All right, bottom line. So let's talk about what kind of shit am I talking about, okay? So you're going to pick any cardio activity and you're going to want to keep your heart rate at 130 beats per minute, okay? Now, my personal favorites is going to be the incline treadmill, the elliptical, and the Stairmaster. Okay. The reason I like these is because you can control the intensity in the machine, which is going to be important because we're going to talk about that later. Okay. So pick whatever cardio activity you like, whether that's if you like walking outside, you could do that. Okay. If you like hiking or if you like fucking biking, you could do that. Okay. But you're going to start by doing 25 minutes of that after your weightlifting sessions. Okay. So if you're weightlifting 4 days a week, you're going to want to have 4 sessions of 25 minutes after your workouts, okay? And guys, this is a very important piece, okay? Consistency is going to be very important. Do not skip this because this can literally make or break someone's progress from having belly fat and getting fucking ripped, okay? I've only met one 40-year-old guy who's actually gotten shredded without doing this. Shout out to Luke Strasberg if he's watching this video, okay? But even Luke, he has a side job where he's kind of doing surfing. So that's even an added low stress kind of fat burn thing anyways, right? But he's been the only person I've ever met out of hundreds of people that has not needed to do this to get ripped. Chances are you're going to need to do this. So lock the fuck in, okay? Now, as the weeks go on, right? Let's say you started doing this for 2 weeks. Your body is going to adapt and the fat burning effect is going to become less effective, okay? This is why you need to increase the time and the intensity of your cardio over time, okay? Whenever you notice that your fat loss is stalling, you're going to want to increase the time and the intensity of that activity, all right? And I'm going to show you guys how to do that, okay? So here's what a typical adjustment actually looks like, right? Every 2 weeks, you're probably going to have to increase the time by 5 to 10 minutes along with the intensity, okay? Now, if you don't want to increase the time, because you're under a time constraint, then what you could do is you can take one of your rest days, okay? Instead of sitting on your ass for 2 days of the week, take one of those days and add another session into the rest day, okay? Now, this is why I like incline treadmill a lot. And notice that I put that one first, okay? It's because I can easily adjust the intensity, the incline level, and I can easily gauge the time as well. Okay, and I can easily gauge my beats per minute, my heart rate. Okay, so if you guys have like a watch, that's going to do that, right? But the treadmills, they usually have like a handle thing where you can kind of gauge your heart rate to make sure it's sitting around 130 beats per minute. Okay, so here's an example of what that adjustment looks like during a fat loss phase to get ripped and get rid of that belly fat. Okay, week 1, let's say you start off with 25 minutes, right? 25 minutes of treadmill, 5 days per week. At a 4 incline, 2.5 speed, right? After 2 weeks, that's going to go up to 30 minutes, and the incline is going to go up by 2 points, okay? The 5th week, you're up another 5 minutes, and the incline is up another 2 points. But notice how we added another day, so it's 6 times per week now, okay? Week 7, we're up to 40 minutes, right? And then week 9, we up at another 10 minutes, okay? So if you guys want to screenshot this, this is a common trend, and this is a common protocol for the guys that I've worked with, and it's been hundreds of dudes, okay? So you can literally screenshot this and take that as a reference point for yourself, okay? Now, you are not going to want to go higher than 60 minutes of this, okay? Number 1, it's unsustainable. Number 2, you're going to burn yourself out. Number 3, the body's going to adapt, and if you do an hour, then you have to do an hour and a half and 2 hours, and next thing you know, where do you have to go from there? It's not sustainable, okay? If you have to actually push it to that extreme, you're doing something wrong. Whether that's step number one, your macros are wrong, your meal plan is wrong, or maybe that's step two, okay? So bottom line, you shouldn't have to do more than 60 minutes of this a day, okay? Now, let's go over some common mistakes and some common pitfalls that I commonly see, okay? Number one is your sleep is all the way fucked up, okay? Now, guys, I've had several clients of mine that have lost 50 pounds in 4 months, 55 pounds in 5 months, etc., 30 pounds in 3 months, easy, okay? Without having good sleep. But over time, that is going to catch up with you, okay? If you've been having poor sleep for several months, that is going to inhibit your ability to lose fat. So maybe you're doing everything right, quote unquote, right? But if your sleep is messed up, you're working against yourself. So that is something that you're going to want to fix, okay? Secondly, your workout routine or your intensity sucks, okay? Guys, if you don't have a proper workout routine or your intensity sucks, you're not pushing yourself properly, you're not doing enough sets, you're not going to failure, you're not pushing hard enough, your metabolic rate is not going to increase. Your ability to burn fat is not going to be as good. The way that your body composition changes won't be as good either, okay? So you want to make sure that you're getting sore after your workouts, okay? You want to make sure that you're pushing yourself as hard as you can because, guys, we're not fucking 20 anymore, okay? That minimal effort shit, you used to get ripped doing push-ups and calisthenics, all right? Now we're over 30. We've accumulated a lot of fat, and it's been happening for a long time, okay? So we need to put in more effort, all right? Another thing, people that are watching this, and they're just, yeah, I'm going to just clean up my diet, and I'm going to just eyeball my food. I'm just not going to weigh my foods out, okay? Guys, if you don't track your macros and weigh your foods out, you're not going to get ripped. I've never met a single 40-year-old or 35-year-old or 50-year-old who's ever got ripped without doing this. Now, I'm sure there's one person out of 1,000. Chances are you're not that person. So you have to track your foods. It's like the person that has $5 million in the bank account. You're going to meet one out of every 1,000 people to have that kind of money who hasn't been tracking their expenses. If you're not tracking your expenses and you don't have a budget, you're not going to have millions of dollars in the bank account, okay? Maybe one out of 1,000 people who is magically rich, was born in a rich, or he just has hella money. So same concept. You're not going to get ripped and get rid of your belly fat without tracking your foods and weighing it out, okay? Another thing, alcohol consumption, okay? Alcohol consumption has been linked to increase in visceral fat, which is another type of stubborn belly fat. So if you're drinking a lot or frequently, you're going to want to minimize that shit to the most 1 time a week at the most, okay? Because another thing with the alcohol consumption is your decision making worsens, right? You're feeling good, you're feeling happy, you know what I'm saying? The chick is looking cute and shit. She got a fatty. Next thing you know, you're inviting her out to eat at 3 a.m. and you're stuffing your face when you should be on your macros, okay? So you're going to want to limit the alcohol consumption to 1 time a month, okay? Now, the cheat meals, which a lot of guys mess up, if we're being honest, okay? A lot of guys are doing great. They're executing. They have 1 meal a week, and they think that just because it's 1 meal, it doesn't matter, okay? But the truth is, like we said, you're not going to get away with that shit anymore, okay? Maybe in the past, when you were younger, you could do that and still look good, but obviously it's not working out for you. So you're going to want to stop the freaking cheat meals because that is making you lose your weekly progress, guaranteed, okay? Make something at home, cook it up at home, whatever you want to eat. Make sure you track your macros, and you're still going to be able to stay on track, okay? Now, another common mistake, and this one's kind of funny, but guys, hear me out, okay? A lot of you guys expect your woman to help you along this journey. Oh, Huncho, I just had the girl who she was just cooking hella good food and she was just wanting me to eat. Bro, you're expecting your woman to do this shit for you? You're expecting her to ride you along this shit? Bro, this is up to you. I don't care what your girl is cooking, what she's offering you. She's not going to want to help you during this, okay? She's actually going to encourage you to stop because you're going to expose her bad habits and she's going to see that you're looking better and she's going to see that other women are starting to look at you more. Okay, so you're playing yourself if you expect your woman to help you. She's going to try to sabotage your shit. I've been in relationships many times. When women see you on your purpose, whether that's the wifey, and even though she loves you and it's all great, she's going to try to sabotage you, okay? So stop expecting wifey to stop offering you these foods or to be supportive. This is your journey, okay? Take control of your physique and your health. Stop putting that decision and responsibility onto your wifey, onto your girlfriend, and using them as an excuse. Oh, it's just I went out with the girlfriend, you know what I'm saying? Or she cooked this or she cooked that. Bro, yeah, she's going to offer you that shit, okay? It's not up to her to make this happen. It's up to fucking you, okay? Same concept with the kids. Oh, I just took the kids out to eat and they were eating French fries. Bro, you're following the decisions of a fucking kid. French fries are for kids. You're a grown man. Take control of your shit and stop expecting other people to have this interest in your heart. It's up to you to get ripped, bro. You know what I'm saying? And bottom line, you should be setting the tone. You should be setting a standard. You shouldn't be following the wifey or the kids. Because guess what? Adam bit the apple that Eve gave him and the world got fucked. You know what I'm saying? That's the first lesson we learned as humans is stop following the women. We lead women, okay? So that's a side rant. But anyways, another common mistake is not structuring your meal plan correctly. You're making it unsustainable. And what do I mean by that, right? You're not eating high volume foods, all right? So things like white rice, things like grapes or bananas, these are high calorie foods, okay? You're gonna wanna switch to potatoes, lower calorie food, lower carb foods, okay? Things that are high in fiber. And you can Google this, foods that are high in fiber, okay? You can ask ChatGPT, okay? Strawberries, you know what I'm saying? Specific kind of foods that are high in fiber, okay? So if you guys do that, you're going to make this way more sustainable because you're not going to be fucking hungry, okay? Because you actually switched to high volume foods that are low in calories, high in fiber, okay? Now, another common mistake is doing the same thing that you have been doing and expecting your results to change. Look, bro, whatever you've been doing up to this point has not been working. I don't care if it's doing it by yourself, doing the fasting, doing the 3 workouts a week, whatever you've been doing hasn't been working, okay? So what makes you think that doing more of that is going to change anything, okay? So I've proven that this system actually get results, you know what I'm saying? Now it's up to you to take action or to just sit on your ass and keep getting fat and keep letting your health decline 30, 40, 50, 60. You guys know how that ends, you know what I'm saying? So, guys, that was the end of the video, man. You know what I'm saying? If you guys found that helpful, hit the like button, add a positive comment, you know what I'm saying? Because lately we've been getting a lot of these keyboard warriors, you know what I'm saying, thinking that they got these results and they know what they're talking about. But I don't see any profile pictures, man. I don't see any six packs. All I see is big mouths, you know what I'm saying? So if you want my help and you want to get ripped, you know what I'm saying? If you want to take action, you want to be held accountable, and you want a personalized plan to get you these results fucking faster like I do for all of my clients, apply for my program below because I guarantee that if you're above 30, you're going to get elite level results like you saw my clients getting, okay? But guys, that was the video. Execute, follow the plan. Let me know what you guys thought in the comment section below. Southpaw Huncho checking out. Peace.